In western Kenya, there is a hill called Got Ramogi, a place of ancient secrets and spiritual power. They say if you listen to the wind, you'll hear the whispers of ancestors telling stories of a great journey and a promise fulfilled. This hill was the final destination for the Luo people, who traveled for years, guided by faith and dreams. The story begins far to the north, with a leader chosen by the spirits, destined to guide his people to a new home. Got Ramogi was more than a landmark. It was a beacon of hope, a symbol of destiny. Before the Luo arrived, the hill was legend, a story told around fires, a promise of a place to belong. Elders believed the spirits had prepared the land, making the soil fertile and the waters abundant. The hill stands today as a reminder of the Luo's origins, strength, and faith. It is the heart of their identity, where the physical and spiritual worlds meet. The journey to Got Ramogi was filled with challenges, but the promise of the hill gave the people strength to continue. The whispers of destiny, the courage of a wise leader, and the dream of a home united them. Got Ramogi is not just a hill, it is the soul of a nation. It reminds the Luo to listen to their ancestors and to never give up on their dreams. The story of the hill is the story of the Luo people. It is a story of hope, faith, and belonging. The journey was hard, but the dream was stronger. And so, the Luo people found their home. The Luo journey began in the north, in what is now Sudan, as their land grew dry and the rivers faded. The people felt restless, knowing it was time to move, but unsure where to go. The elders prayed for guidance, seeking wisdom from their ancestors. One night, their leader dreamed of a vast, shimmering lake and green, fertile lands, a vision of hope and abundance. He awoke knowing this was a message from the spirits, a promise of a new home. Gathering the people, he shared his dream, filling them with hope and determination. They packed their belongings, gathered their cattle, and set out, following the River Nile southward. The river became their guide and lifeline, providing water and food. Days were hot, nights were cold, and dangers lurked. Wild animals, hunger, and exhaustion. Yet the dream of the great water kept them moving. Around campfires, they told stories of their ancestors and the beautiful home awaiting them. The journey was long and uncertain, but faith united them. The leader's vision became their shared purpose. They faced every hardship with hope, believing in the promise of the spirits. The river's flow echoed their journey, always moving forward. Each step brought them closer to the land of their dreams. The dream of water and new beginnings gave them strength. The Luo people walked on, guided by faith and the promise of a better life. Their journey was not just about survival, but about finding a place to belong. The vision of the lake was their guiding star. Through struggle and hope, they pressed on. The dream was alive in every heart. And so, the great journey continued, toward the promise of a new beginning. Ramogi Ajwang was the leader who guided the Luo people, not with force, but with wisdom and spiritual connection. He listened to the earth, the water, and the voices of the ancestors, seeking guidance for every step. The people trusted him because he led for their sake, not his own. When hope faded, Ramogi shared stories and visions, reminding them of the dream of the Great Lake. His words renewed their courage and unity. Rituals were central to their journey: prayers before crossing rivers, ceremonies before hunting, connecting them to the spirits and the land. These rituals gave the people a sense of protection and belonging. Ramogi was more than a guide, he was their spiritual anchor. His faith shone brightest in their darkest moments. He taught that true strength comes from unity, faith, and listening to the wisdom within and around you. Ramogi walked with his people, sharing their struggles and hopes. His legacy is remembered with deep respect. He showed that leadership is about service, vision, and trust in destiny. Ramogi Ajwang remains a symbol of wise and spiritual leadership. After years of travel, the Luo people finally saw Got Ramogi rising from the plains, just as in their stories. Nearby, Lake Victoria sparkled, a dream fulfilled. Their journey was over, they had found home. Got Ramogi became the sacred heart of the Luo nation, a bridge between the living and the spirits. People came to the hill for guidance, blessings, and rituals marking life's milestones. Sacred groves on the hill were places for elders to make decisions and for young men's initiation. The hill was a natural cathedral, a place of worship and community. Its rocks and caves held stories and memories. Ramogi's meditation spot became a holy altar, Offerings were left to honor the ancestors. Got Ramogi was more than land, it was a living map of Luo history and belief. Every part of the hill told a story of faith and belonging. The Luo were no longer wanderers, they had roots. The hill anchored their destiny on the lake's shore. It was the place where new life began. Got Ramogi remains the soul of the Luo people. Settling by Got Ramogi and Lake Victoria, the Luo people's culture blossomed. The lake, called Nam Lolwe, became central to their lives. Fishing, boating, and storytelling flourished. Fish became vital for food and trade, shaping their economy and daily rhythm. Their language and stories reflected the water's beauty and mystery. Tales of fishermen, magical lake creatures, and the spirit of the lake filled their evenings. Music and dance celebrated the lake, with songs and instruments inspired by their new home. Dances mimicked the water's movement, expressing gratitude and joy. Community life grew strong. Family compounds, farming, and cattle herding thrived. The Luo blended ancient traditions with new lessons from the land and water. Their culture became unique, rooted in both their northern origins and their lakeside home. They were no longer just migrants, they were a nation. The lake and hill shaped their identity. The Luo people's story became one of resilience, creativity, and belonging. The Luo journey is more than history, it's a source of timeless lessons. Ramogi Ajwang showed that true leadership is rooted in wisdom, vision, and service. He inspired hope and unity, guiding with integrity and compassion. The Luo's faith in their dream and the spirits gave them strength to endure hardship. Sacred spaces like Got Ramogi connected them to their ancestors and identity. We all need places of peace and belonging, whether a hill, a home, or a quiet corner. The journey teaches us to honor our roots and understand our identity. Knowing where we come from shapes who we are. Our personal histories are part of our own great journey. They give us strength, values, and direction. The Luo story reminds us to listen to our dreams and the wisdom of those before us. Destiny is found by those who remember their past. The journey continues in every generation. Like the Luo, each of us is on a journey, filled with dreams, challenges, and destinations. What is the great water you seek? What dream guides your steps? We all have our own Got Ramogi, people, places, and beliefs that give us strength. Who are the wise leaders in your life? Where are your sacred spaces? These anchors help you remember who you are. Ramogi listen to the spirits. What are you listening to? Your family's story is a treasure. Learn it, share it, and honor it. Our stories connect us to the past and inspire the future. Take time to discover your roots and share your journey. By honoring your story, you honor those who came before you. Let's keep the tradition of storytelling alive. Share your journey in the comments below. Walk bravely toward your destiny, carrying the spirit of those who walked before you.